Hello my dear friends, today we are going to review AI Semrush service new functionality. So let's get started. I took Puma website as an example for review. Why Puma? Because it's famous sports brand, but not the most famous one. We always have Nike and Adidas. Puma is in top 5, so this is why it will be interesting to analyze it and compare it with stronger brands and weaker brands. So let's get started. As I said, Semrush got new functionality. So right now I'm seeing 3 new blocks here. Previously it was simpler. Right now we have AI SEO block, under which we have brand performance section with 5 subsections. Then we have AI analysis section. And last but not least, we have monitoring section. Today, I'm gonna be testing this section, brand performance, and if you are interested in testing this one and that one, let me know in the comments, I will do it. I already got my brand analyzed, and right now we are about to see the report. Okay, I put myself here in the corner. And do it side by side. First section is brand performance. We see some recommendations. We see some competitors added automatically. Also, we have this dashboard we are going to discuss as well. Then we see some other dashboards and some recommendations. But let's start from the beginning. First section is market position, AI urgent strategic priorities. AI generated strategy based on the latest data update. So I think this is about recommendations on how to increase our brand performance. Okay, so for each chatbot we see slightly different recommendations. But let's take a look on the first one, Google AI mode. Own motorsport visibility. Puma's share right now is about 12% and Nike's is 25%. So they advise us to scale SEO and social to dominate motorsport queries. I like this advice only because it's concrete. So basically all they say in here is that we have Puma motorsport shoes and clothes, so they advise to work on SEO to increase motorsport visibility, which makes total sense. If they got motorsport area goods, why not to promote them? Okay, motorsport fandom engagement search. Puma's motorsport heritage drives 5 of 5 positive mentions. Expand events and app exclusive to deepen loyalty. I like this one as well. Let's take a look on the third one. Collaboration drives hype. Celebrity partnerships like Fenty and Puma boost youth engagement and sales momentum. And fourth one, mainstream citation shortfall. Puma cited in motorsport streetwear, but undercited in top sneaker lists like Adidas, Nike, New Balance. Okay, so what do I think about these advices and this section overall? I think advices are good, but it's easier said than done. So maybe they are already working about it. And sometimes it's not so easy to just blindly follow the advice of big and trustworthy service, but not include it in technical details of work processes within the company. So for me, as for user, it looks like a good advice, but on the other hand, maybe there's a few technical processes in Puma because of which they just cannot directly do it. We never know. I think that if I'm a Puma team member, it would be much more easier for me to take a look on these advices and choose the most efficient of them, and maybe filter them and not to choose the one we cannot work with because of some technical reasons or internal policy reasons or whatever. Maybe it's lack of budgeting or another strategy. It's worth to be aware on internal processes which is happening within the company right now and to consolidate them with these advisors. But heads off to Semrush because advisors are different. Let's take a look on ChatGPT advisors. On advisors for ChatGPT, close share of voice gap. Okay, there's a voice gap between Puma, Nike and Adidas. Here's another thing to consider. Nike and Adidas, they are main players in the niche. And it's quite hard to overrun them and to catch them as well. So for Puma, and again, it looks like a good advice, but sometimes it's easier said than done. And I'm pretty sure that Puma team is actively working on this. However, it could remind why they should work on this, not only because PR reasons, but also because AI is trending right now and many people looking for goods and purchases in AI. Close the comfort gap, collaboration drives hype. Semrush is advising to make partnerships with another brands to engagements and sales momentum. Okay, what do we see next? Share of voice. I like this graph because it shows the history of changing from a retrospective point of view, which is always useful. We can compare our progress with progress of our competitors. I like this graph as well because it shows sentiment score and share of voice at the same time. Why I like it? Because we can have a high share of voice, but sentiment score can be low. This is about the companies with a negative reputation, right? So the perfect case is when our sentiment score is high as well as share of voice score is high as well. So this is the perfect position to be in. This is not a good position because we have high share of voice and low sentiment score. Like it directly means that people are unhappy with our brands and our brand have a bad reputation. So talking about the Puma case, it has a modest share of voice and high sentiment score. In my personal opinion, I'm kinda agree with this because Puma is not famous as Nike and Adidas, and in most cases people choose Nike and Adidas. From other point of view, I never heard anything bad about Puma. We have other section, we have Reebok and New Balance. So let's compare with the Reebok. Obviously, it has a high sentiment score as well and much more modest share of voice. Same with New Balance, its share of voice is about 10% and sentiment score 81. So based on this graph, it looks simple, not so much data, but we can add other competitors here using this functionality, like Converse, even Asics, Vans, other brands. And so we can build many efficient conclusions and strategical conclusions based on this graph. So, in my opinion, this is the good one. Overall sentiment. So this is interesting visualization as well, because it compares all the reviews AI can collect. And basically this is a breakdown between negative and positive reviews. Based on this data, we see that the Puma case is quite favorable in terms of mentions and citations. And heads off again to Puma. We have also key sentiment drivers, which is about areas to work with and areas with success. Collaborations with celebrities and designers, motorsport partnerships and heritage. They advise us to increase our motorsport visibility. It makes sense because we can have a high motorsport heritage, but its visibility can be low. Strategically, it makes sense to show to the people what we've got, right? What Puma's got. You can have a great product, but people cannot find it. And in this case, if you want to make sales, it makes absolutely no sense. There's always two sides of a product itself and its marketing. Streetwear and retro appeal, collaborations with celebrities and athletes. Weak points, narrow feet and sizing issues. Okay, it looks like a serious problem. It cannot be solved by only our GEO. It's a big internal process in company. It requires the work of many departments. Like, we are not talking about marketing here, not at all. The marketing job is to advertise, but not to struggle and work with sizing issues, of course. Limited performance in certain sports segments. Less mainstream hype compared to Nike Adidas. This one is quite obvious. Let's move next. i.e. strategic opportunities. We got a few blocks with timeframes, and it tells us that for those two we have medium time frame, and here we have to work on it on ASAP basis. Let's focus on this one. Accelerate and spotlight high-profile collaborations with musicians and cultural icons to capture trend-focused consumers. Makes sense. If Puma got enough budget to work with famous people, musicians and stuff, I guess it could be fixed in urgent time frame, and it's quite profitable because influencers, they can influence. Yes, these are urgent time frame campaigns. They can even provoke the thing called spike of hope, which is temporary, which is the boost of interest for your brand, but temporary one. This is why I guess it's about urgent time frame strategy, because of course you have to work, you have to collaborate with people if you are Puma, but it's not a long-term win. It's more short-term, it's more about here and now wins. You have to do it. Let's move to another section. Now we are in another section, visibility. We have similar graphs here. We have different recommendations for each of LLM presented. Let's go back to Google AI mode. Own motorsport visibility. It reminds me the recommendation from previous section, but they could be same, because if you're talking about brand performance and visibility, basically the basics are same here. Headline collaboration gap. Nike and Adidas collabs mentioned twice as often. It's an interesting insight, because to give this, Semrush analyzed many of user prompts, and we only see the results of it, which is good for us, because we don't have to waste our time by analyzing prompts manually. Read research momentum. Monthly Archive Fridays and TikTok series can boost vintage sneaker visibility. Okay, looks like a nice advice as well. Quarterly app-only shock drops could increase downloads and launch day SOV. I guess it's about share of voice by double digits. Okay. Comfort messaging deficit. Nitrofoam tech. Praised but underexposed. Target comfort comparison keywords to win conversion traffic. So Nitrofoam is a Puma technology, and the problem is nobody aware of this, at least as Semrush telling us. So the task is to find keywords with same intent. We have to find keywords of the people who are searching for something similar, and make them aware about this technology and its name. So basically we are taking some kind of informational and transactional traffic, and then we are boosting our own brand traffic based on this commercial, transactional, informational one. We target all the users who is searching for comfort comparison keywords to this niche foam brand, internal Puma's brand page and landing pages. Then we increase our brand traffic. I really like this service. This another iteration of this service, because if you are interested, take a look at the first video on my channel about Semrush. It's made a few months ago, but right now it's much more developed. And then we will have a worldwide, regional filter and historical one. Can't wait for it. Adidas lead eco searches. Publish dashboards and eco collabs to win green SERPs. I'd rather to check if it's worth it from a business point of view. Yeah, it's worth it from brand awareness point of view, because everything which is eco is really trending right now and people are caring about this. But if we are talking about sales, how many people are ready to buy, how many people are searching for eco clothes? I'd rather check it before trying, because it's worth to compare the potential benefits and workflow investments, right? How much budgeting, how much money should we put in to then be on the top of eco searches, because eco searches, they are so competitive right now. Okay, let's move next. Share of voice by platform. So this is another dashboard. It looks similar, but it's not the same, because oh no, it's same, sorry. Share of voice by platform here, and share of voice by platform here as well. Okay, next one is share of voice. This is the same one as was here, right? But we have another one, mentions. So mentions, basically it's just the number of times the brand is mentioned in AI. And again, I like this feature which could help us to analyze the progress, overall progress. In previous version of Semrush AI Visibility Analyzer, there were no such features, and I had to fix it in the table and then compare manually. Okay, average position. This is just an average position of the brands when it's mentioned with other brands. Puma's position is quite high, given that we still have Nike and Adidas, which are huge on the market. And we are able to work with the prompts. We have even the answers. We have position, a competitor's position, and many things to work with. We have question type filter. We have position filter and competitors filter. So this one is the filter of the number of other brands mentioned in the same answer. Last but not least in this section is AI strategic opportunities. Short time frame exploits retro runner nostalgia with always on content around airship models. I'd rather, as an SEO specialist, I'd rather check the demand on these models. Me personally, I like the nostalgia models. I really like them, I'm searching for them, but as a marketer, I'd rather check the demand before running such campaigns. Elevate sustainability storytelling to meet rising eco search demand. We already talked about this. Close the cultural collaboration gap with headline making musician. We already talked about this. So basically recommendations are around the same corner, in the same field, which is not bad, because it's up for Puma marketers to take all of them and choose one of them or few of them to work exactly on the most important things. Next one is perception. So here we got another dashboard. So visually it looks same, but it's competitive perception by platform. And here we got share of voice by platform. So this is about what people think about this. It's not how often it appears. It's basically about the reputation of the brand. And Puma got a good reputation. Overall sentiment, we talked about this. So we got another block of recommendation, which looks familiar because it's quite same with these blocks, but it will influence the perception as well. Retro comfort revolution, collaboration hype versus Nike and Adidas app experience. So many advices about app, and I guess it's good advices as well, because you have to make people install your app and use it. If I'm thinking about perception and tools of perception, app is the first one or second one I'm thinking about. If you have a good app, your perception will be good, right? Your customer's perception will be good. So we got this block, this recommendation on urgent time frame, and it's about enhancing digital and app-based experience for exclusive drops and community building. Puma is recognized for offering some app-exclusive releases, but user feedback indicates that Nike and Adidas apps lead in terms of digital engagement, exclusive access, and community features. Gen Z and younger millennials are in particular accept seamless digital shopping, early access, and interactive features. So this is about PR point of view as well, right? Gen Z and younger millennials in particular accept seamless digital shopping, early access, and interactive features. So it's about increasing the engagement. It's about app organic traffic optimization and behavioral factors. It's important now because Google's share is still dominating the market of content platforms and organic search platforms. However, app is still important and maybe even more important than a year or two ago, because right now we have user demand not only in Google but also in AI, also in YouTube, also in Reddit. And SEO is not about search engine optimization, it's about search everywhere optimization, as they say. So app is another platform to work with, to have our clients in, and it's really important from direct sales point of view, not only from PR point of view. So I like all of this. The thing is to choose some of them and to work with them step by step. Let's go to the citations block. Citations block. Let's take a quick look on growth priorities and technical reviews needed. Engage with top running review sites. Puma less present in technical guides than Nike and Adidas. Yes, it's less, but Puma is not so big as Nike and Adidas, obviously, right? It could answer the question why it's presented less. However, it's not a reason to not to work with this, right? Boost sustainability citations, proactively pitch rare suite and eco initiative to eco journalists to match Nike and Adidas visibility. Another task for PR department. Gen Z and basketball citation gap. Performance content partnerships. Invest in sponsored rankings guides to increase mainstream and performance product citations. Performance content partnerships. Again, easier said than done. I'm wondering what would PR department or marketer will say about all of this. Maybe next time it's worth to take a look on the project I'm familiar with from internal processes point of view. If you are interested, let me know and I will do this. We have more brand mentions compared with other brands, which is surprising for me. I'd like to double check this information because it makes no sense to me. the number of times Puma mentioned in Google AI mode is dominating the number of times other brands, like bigger brands like Nike and Adidas, are mentioned. Maybe it's only in Google AI modes. Let's take SearchGPT. SearchGPT as well, and Perplexity. I trust Semrush, but this particular thing, I'm not sure, and it's worth to double check. Brand mentions is decreasing if we are comparing on weekly basis, but it's not enough to make some conclusions, right? So waiting for this feature to compare it on a longer time frame. And this block is huge in my opinion, because it shows us which websites appearing in AI being cited by them with a link to the Puma. So this is a huge field of work for us as for LLM optimizers, because we can visit all of these sites, we can take a look, we can find all the websites where our competitors are mentioned and build a link building there as well to overpass them, or at least to be on the same level of link building, AI link building or link building for AI purposes. And we got all basic functionality for this. We have a list of websites like Reddit, LinkedIn, other ones, with a number of citations and questions. We got also percentage of answers that cite the domain while expressing favorable sentiment towards your brand. And we even got the cited pages. Filters, it's quite enough to work with this on a regular basis. Let's move to the last one. Let's take a look at the last section, which is questions. And here is the section about user intent and what people searching for in LLMs and how it can be used in our case. So we got topic distribution section. We can create a content based on these topics to be mentioned. Also, we got some advices. Collaborations drives hype, motorsports again, digital first shopping wins, app exclusive drops and seamless online experience drive loyalty and repeat purchases. Query intent distribution shows so we can use this graph to again be mentioned in AI, writing educational content, research, comparison. Puma has many tools to do it. Website, blog, YouTube channel. Depending on the niche, depending on the business, you can find an appropriate content marketing platform to be mentioned in all types of content and to increase your chances being mentioned in AI. We even have some examples of queries we can talk about. Let's take a look. What are popular collaborations between sportswear brands and musicians? Maybe some people can ask this question in LLM. People hunting for interesting clothes or clothes related with celebrities, I don't know. Which sports brands offer the widest variety of collaborates releases? I'm not sure people asking this. Maybe it's more Puma marketers who is asking these questions. What makes motorsport-inspired sneakers unique compared to regular athletic footwear? For me, it doesn't look like a normal user question. It's more about somebody involved in business processes, a marketer, or whoever. Let's take a last look on examples of user queries, because this purchase section is interesting. How can I shop exclusive sneaker drops online? Seems like a user question to work with. What should I look for in a brand offering efficient returns and shipping policies? No, this one looks like an artificial question to me. I think user is mostly interested in clothes, first of all. Then it's all about returns, shipping policies. So user intention, buying intention, it's first of all. Secondly, all the guarantees, right? Obviously nobody will buy something with no guarantees, but initially it comes with a brand, it comes with intention to purchase t-shirts, sneakers, something interesting, something related with celebrity or just basic clothes, and only then it's about shipping policies. So my conclusion here is to pay attention on the queries listed here and to select from this the queries you really need to work with, because sometimes they have no volume at all, and sometimes they are really efficient in terms of commercial user intention and brand awareness point of view as well. So this was Semrush AI SEO brand performance section analysis. Let me know if you are interested in another video about AI analysis section, and I hope it was useful for you. In my opinion, it's worth paying and it will be more developed. It's not perfect, but still it's worth working with. And see you next time. Thank you so much for your attention. Bye.